Hi friends, welcome back to Summerhill. Today we're diving into a step-by-step guide to paint air dry clay. If you've ever wondered which type of paint works best on clay or how to achieve the perfect finish, then you're in the right place. In this video we'll explore 4 different types of paint: acrylic, chalk, watercolor, and rub and buff, and I'll walk you through the best ways to use each one. So let's get started. As an example, I'm making mini scalloped ring bowls using Crayola air dry clay. I won't go into the details of shaping them, but I wanted to share with you what I'm painting today. First things first, make sure your air dry clay is completely dry. If you've just finished shaping them, leave them to dry overnight. If there are any rough spots, you can sand them down lightly and then remove the grit with a slightly damp cloth to get a smooth finish. Now let's let these dry overnight and we'll get started painting.
So it's day 2 and my air dry clay bowls are completely dry. And just so you'll know, we are having a thunderstorm here. It is very dark and it still looks like the camera's bright enough so you can see, but we're going to start out by painting it with acrylic paint because acrylic paint is probably the #1 popular paint to paint air dry clay. It is very easy to work with. It's also very inexpensive, and you don't have to put a primer coat. You can put a primer coat, but you don't have to. Dries really fast, which is one of the reasons why I like acrylic. I mean, look how fast that's drying. Another thing I've done is I've used my blow dryer to blow dry it. So we're gonna grab that so that we can move this along quicker. Okay, so we got the one with acrylic done, and as you can see, it's just a great clean finish. It works really, really well. Okay, so we've got the acrylic done. So now let's try the chalk paint. And the chalk paint I like to use is by Dixie Belle. You can use any chalk paint. You don't have to get Dixie Belle. I use this to paint furniture, fabrics, crafts. This is such a versatile paint. And it works great on air dry clay. So we're gonna paint one with this white, and then I thought we might paint one with this blue because this is the blue I used on my range hood in my kitchen. So I was thinking of putting a ring dish by my sink in my kitchen that matches my range hood. So let's do Savannah Mist. For our next one is watercolor, and I don't have a lot of experience with watercolor, so this is going to be a great example for a beginner because we are learning how to do this together. So first thing I wanted to show you is I actually bought paintbrushes designed for watercolor. What I read said that you could use any synthetic brush, but I thought if I want to do watercolor for anything, why not just get the brushes that they say are designed for watercolor? So I'm going to pull out this one just because that seems to be a good size for painting, and we're gonna get started. And I'll try to, I don't really have any details, but I did buy this at Hobby Lobby.
Okay, so after trial and error, this is what I figured out works best. I would wet my paintbrush, then put it in the watercolor, and then put that into my paint dish. From there, I would kind of remove some of the water from it and then gently start putting the paint on my air dry clay in nice smooth strokes. Now, I previously read to wet your air dry clay first and it makes it go on a little easier. I didn't do that, and these are the results that I got, which was a perfect natural looking watercolor finish.
I like the look. This would be perfect if I was doing a leaf. You see how like the variation, it's not so pure. I think that would be perfect for like a nature piece. Let's paint another one with some acrylic because I have a fun little project to do that includes some rub and buff. Okay, so we're gonna do some rub and buff around the edge, and I need a paintbrush with a small little tip like this. And then I think I'm gonna use gold leaf for it. And this is rub and buff, just so you know, just in case you've never heard of it. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, you can get it on Amazon, lots of places. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take this rub and buff and we're going to go around the edge. And we have one with gold around the edge. How pretty. So I decided to give watercolor a try with a pretty little pattern, and I think that's what I'm gonna use watercolor for because it's a little, I like this if I am doing a leaf or something natural, but if I'm wanting to be more precise with my design, I'm gonna paint it with acrylic or chalk and then do a design on it with the watercolor, because that turned out really pretty. And I didn't even paint this bowl. So this is on straight air dry clay, but I kind of like it. Okay, so for my chalk painted bowl that I'm gonna use in my kitchen, I want to put a little bit of brown wax on it because that's actually what I did on my range hood. And if you want to see what my range hood or how I did that, I'll be sure to put a link in the description so you can check it out. But let's add a little bit of wax to this. So the wax I used by Dixie Belle is a brown color, and it's super easy to apply. You're just going to need a lint-free rag, and I'm using an old dish towel that has holes in it. See the holes? So I'm gonna just take a little bit of this wax like that, and I'm actually going to wipe some of it off here because this is pretty tiny and I don't want it to like saturate. So then you just add a little bit of wax where you want and then buff it off. See how I'm buffing it off? Just keep buffing it until you get the consistency you want. There you go. The little bowl looks now like my range hood. Now last is the clear coat. If you decide you want to do a clear coat, I want to recommend a clear acrylic coating spray. That works really good. And Mod Podge or decoupage works really good too. And you can even use this to apply like napkin designs and other things on top of your paint. it. Let that decoupage dry. And then your ring bowl or whatever you're working on is now sealed. Okay, so we're all done on how to paint air dry clay. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell so you can join us for the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.